Let's start by defining what we mean by production. In an infrastructure context, we call the parts of the infrastructure where a certain service is executed and served to its users production. If you host a website, the servers that deliver the website content to the users are the production servers. Inside your company, the servers that validate users' passwords are the production authentication servers. You get the idea. So let's say you need to make an important change in your production infrastructure. It could be adding a new service, changing the configuration of an existing service, updating the operating system, or maybe shutting down the service that's currently running. How do you go about doing that? The key to safely making these changes is to always run them through a test environment first. The test environment is usually a virtual machine running the same configuration as a production environment, but it isn't actually serving any users of the service. This way, if there's a problem when deploying the change, you'll be able to fix it without the user seeing it. If you're in charge of an important service that you need to keep running during a configuration change, we recommend that you have a secondary or a standby machine. This machine will be exactly the same as a production machine, but won't receive any traffic from actual users until you enable it to do so. In this case, once you've tested your changes in the test environment and are ready to deploy them to production, first, apply the changes to the secondary machine. Once the changes have been applied, make the standby machine and primary machine, and then apply the changes to the other machine. For even bigger services, when you have lots of servers providing the service, you may want to have canaries. Similar to the canaries coal miners carry to detect toxic gases when entering the mines, you'll use a small group of servers to detect any potential issues in the larger changes you want to push out in the system. Once you verify that it works correctly on those machines, you then deploy the change to the rest of the fleet. That way, if there's an issue with the change, only a subset of the users get exposed to it, and you can roll it back before it hits everyone. Now, let's say you need to make a minor change in your production infrastructure. Should you just go ahead and make the change in production? No, you should always try it in your test infrastructure first. It doesn't matter how minor the change may seem, there's always something that could go wrong. Whether the infrastructure needs primary and secondary machines, or a group of canaries, depends on how big the service is and how important it is that it doesn't go down. Even for the smaller services, you should never make changes directly in production. Always use a test instance first and only deploy the change to production after verifying that it works.